course, out of Macheeete is that Ulgrim. But we saw the Fate yesterday in Cruise. We saw the Fate being hovered over there. Well, in 2s, we are, in fact, going to see that Ulgrim come back out here on the side of Macheeete as we get into game 1 here. What is potentially one of the teams we said before that has a trip to Grands, but like kind of written in their ticket. But Macheeete and Blue trying to shut that down.
Here we go. We're starting off with game number 1 here. We're going to have Pugsy and Luna on the exact legends we were talking about before. It looks like Blue's going to be playing the Hattori on Macheeete, to no one's surprise, on that staple Ulgrim. Wow, okay, no recovery there on Pugsy. So Pugsy's actually just gone.
Yeah, that was because we saw Luna go deep off stage for a while. Luna didn't have enough resources. They said, all right, tag out, your turn. And then Pugsy going deep off stage, got caught. And because when Luna tried to go help him, they hit a recovery with Spear, just sent him up. There was no saving.
Wow. Oh, okay. This is going to be a bit of a tricky one, right? Because Ulgrim, very popular of a 2s pick, especially for people who want to play Lance, but particularly in EU, they think Ulgrim is must stay. We're going to see Macheeete kind of try to give us an example of what that's like, but also Blue, one of the few people still playing Hattori, man. I still think Hattori is one of those legends that is so powerful, but we don't really see as much representation these days, so hopefully Blue's able to give us a little bit of a show what that's about too.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's South America, you see Spear literally everywhere down there. But that side is going to come through and try and send them off stage. Blue refusing to throw away this first. Never mind. Blue going to lose that first stock. And Macheeete getting pressured, but Macheeete has been able to kind of separate enough. This is still an incredibly even game. Pugsy did lose that stock earlier, kind of low, but Pugsy's been... Yeah, they're lining up the combos, and that's what we've come to know and see out of Pugsy and Luna.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. It doesn't matter where is the other thing, right? Like, Luna is off stage there and still manages to jump off the wall, gravity cancel, turn around, and get that side take. It doesn't matter where these two are positioned on the stage, they will find that conversion. But on the same side, even though I've seen Blue and Macheeete drop a couple conversions so far, they are still pushing ahead with the lead here because I think Macheeete does such a good job of controlling space. When he has that axe, he's getting those blows. When he has that rocket lance, it feels like there's a whole horizontal plane that you're not allowed to touch.
Yeah, Blue's giving me a lot of Meg D vibes that we saw earlier, where the way that Blue's, like, he's been very hard to hit, and then he finds the simple KOs with the D-Light recovery or the side airs. But on the side of Luna, also not holding onto that stock any longer because I decided to point it out, but he was holding onto that stock for a long time. Blue taking a trip towards the blast zone, but not enough to punch a ticket to get that landing. However, not enough resources as well to make it back.
This one's going to be tough because we just saw Macheeete has been introduced with the red, and one clean conversion should be enough. You see Luna and Pugsy setting up that sandwich so quickly, dude. Like, they had a very small window to do that, and they capitalized on so much damage. This got insanely close, extraordinarily quickly.
You were talking about how Luna was able to do the wall jump earlier. Pugsy got hit and then still got the GC sidelight. Like, just being able to constantly push back and forth. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, good. See, got the separation right here. Blue going up there, looking at the top, looking for a potential recovery. Meanwhile, Pugsy not getting caught by the nair. The recovery is going to send almost both of them off the top. It's now on Pugsy to get to 2v1.
Oh, doesn't get the connection on the Sair right there to close it out. And there we go. He forces the dodge there. He tries to put him in an unblockable scenario, but couldn't quite set it up. The unarmed recovery is not going to be enough. This is a very doable 2v1 for Pugsy, but Pugsy will need a weapon first, but an unarmed recovery will KO Macheeete. Doesn't matter. They're able to secure game 1. And one thing that I love about how that 2v1 was set up was Macheeete came up with a Rocket Lance D-Light. Rocket Lance has no true follow-up after that D-Light. So what did he do? He just backed up. And then immediately you see Blue run in with the D-Light and get a double recovery. Baller.
There's one specific person I can think of right now who is popping off watching these performances from EU, and that is one Polymonto. He is definitely looking at this going, these are my boys coming through here. They got a 3-0 a second ago. They got the first game already on Luna and Pugsy. This is a team that we look at and expect, okay, they're probably gonna run through pretty much everyone. Then they drop game number 1.
I know.
That wasn't a close one at that too. There's still many more games to be played. But the story not lining up the way everybody kind of looking at North American dominance, not as free looking today as we get into the second game, Flambeau.
Yeah, I'm like, I might be safe to say I think EU has caught up, and who knows if maybe they've succeeded. We ain't even got Godly here.
There's no Godly, there's no Acno, and we're sitting there struggling. already. Like, this is incredible, but Luna getting in to break up the combo that they had started on Pugsy, that could have been much worse. Macheeete already taking quite a bit of damage. Like we said, all straight hits just lead to straight red. You don't know how you got there sometimes. Off
Yeah,
those
actually, though. It's like you fell asleep on the train and you wake up and you missed your stop and you're like, ah.
Hey, yo, where my shoes at?
Yeah,
like,
facts. I got swagged already. And Atlanta bit them. Besides all of that, I mean, you see, even off of that unarmed neutral light, Luna still finds the Sayer. Like, he'll at least get something. And that's what makes this team so tough to beat. But Macheeete and Blue were able to find a way in game 1. It's looking a lot tougher for them in this game, too. Looks like some adjustments have been made on the red team.
Yeah, this time where Blue was always interrupting, Pugsy turned around last time and it stopped Blue. But free double up, not going to be enough to take Luna off the top. That mattered a lot because that was one of the few opportunities they had to get a free 2v1 on him. Luna does, however, go down on the courtesy of Pugsy's accidental team hit.
Oh, can't get the final ground pound there. And he used his dodge, so that means that weapon throw is pretty much guaranteed. Doesn't even hit, but it forces Blue to go to the side. And that's just a stock. And so now Macheeete and Blue really on the back foot.
When those sword and sig start connecting, you are in trouble. Once Pugsy starts connecting on those, that's when you are in trouble because he can, like, most of the stocks fly out of here through lineups into that. Hammer neutralizing, sending him in, getting a read, and taking you out. Pugsy looks like he has made a lot of changes going into this next game.
Oh, Pugsy manages to get his way around that weapon throw, and you can see it's looking like time for the blue team to potentially secure a KO here. They have both members of the red team on the side. You can see Macheeete swaps over to the rocket hands. I think he wants that more threat ability, but despite that, he picks it up and immediately gets side-sticked by Luna. So, is it working?
Not so much right now. Luna's going to get caught by the ground pound, though, just trying to make his way back, but it is going to be Pugsy who sneaks it. Or actually, was that Pugsy who calls it? Yeah, Pugsy was able to sneak in and get that KO from the weapon throw. Now Blue you can take out Pugsy and then you got to force a 2v1, but you're looking at double axe in the way. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there ain't much you were going to be able to do past that, and a great response from Luna and Pugsy going into game 2.
Yeah, you saw Blue got hit by the Taros and Sig was like, ah. And then you just ground pounded to the, it was like, hey, well, run it to the next one. Run it to the next one.
Sometimes you reach that moment, it's like, I can't waste the stamina on this. Yeah, you're staring down the two of them. If you get rid of Pugsy, you now have to win the 2v1 repeatedly. You just got hit by that. It's like, yeah, you know what? Get into the next one. And it was still a close-ish game at the beginning. But I think a big part of that was Pugsy waking up in that second game. 14 SIGs, 42% connected. Reminder that is Taros and Brawlhalla we're talking about connecting on those. So almost half of them. Yeah.
It's like you getting hit by those SIGs, it's going to matter a whole lot more. But specifically, I'm wondering here, like, is the pin swap really going to be the change?
Yeah, switching off of the Val here, so I think the Val was doing fine, to be honest, in my view, but I guess they wanted to go with the double axe play. It's like, you got double axe, we're going to meet you for it.
So interesting. Because everything's going to be like you think about it in terms of so many people were thinking, oh, gauntlets are going to be the thing, right? Every time I talked to the players upstairs, I was like, give me your top 3. I asked every player, what's your top 3? And the most consistent thing I heard was gauntlets, undisputed best in the game, and then sword, somewhere in that top 3. And then the third one was always a little bit of a toss-up. Is it going to be scythe? Is it going to be axe, you know? But they were always so adamant that gauntlets, numero uno. Granted, you know, there's the difference between 1s and 2s, but here we're seeing axe kind of.
It's just, when you're having troubles winning scrambles, axe makes you pay. So if you feel like there's too many scramble situations, yeah, gauntlets can line up a lot, but axe is going to separate everything. So you go back to just outplaying people one-on-one. But with the switch up the brain here, you got so much coverage. You have the spear play. You have the ability to combo line up for Macheeete. But I think a big part of that being the axes coming through here, just missing out. Luna trying to catch Blue slip and going a little bit too high. And this is an opportunity for blue team. Looking for Luna. Gonna catch the neutralites. It's not gonna be enough yet, but gets smacked back off by Blue's weapon toss. Just misses.
They're just sitting there. They're doing a great job of keeping them in the corner, but they're not doing a great job of getting the KO, right? Like, you know, they rack up a bit of damage here, hit there, reset the situation, but they haven't been able to be like, I'm going to KO you now because you're in this position, and that matters a lot.
Pugsy and Luna getting sent far apart. This is a free 2v1 on Pugsy because he had external resources. The Pogo finds the mark. Look, they all know you wanted it, but the fact that he went from the GC stick on stage and immediately ran with the side stick like, you didn't know, I'm gonna catch you slipping.
That's the thing, bro. When you spend your dodge like that, if you jump up, you start mashing the dodge button as you make contact with a platform, you get that platform cancel dash. So they didn't even think that he could cover that space so quickly, and then just before you know it, you got a side stick in your face.
Yeah, we're at 1 stock apiece here right now. This is the determinant who gets the lead in this set. And we see a stock play off the top on the side of blue.
I don't know if Macheeete can do this. One Sarah on Pugsy makes this a lot more viable of an option. And there we go. But it's from the opposite side of the stage, right? So now he has to find another one. But luckily, Jolly doesn't have defense like that. So if he gets it from, like, I think center, should be enough. Oh, wow.
Get hit by the back hit, weapon toss down. And just misses out, but here comes Pugsy to make sure that they closes it out. And they do get the dare, and that is going to be enough to close it out after that first game. Very solid first game coming in from Macheeete and Blue. It is Luna and Pugsy. Even though that game was a little bit closer, they are still getting the stocks first. They're actually converting off of those team combos still. But I feel like the way that they've been able to deal with Blue has been much better. Because I feel like Blue in game 1 was a huge problem. He was refusing to die. That's what I was saying earlier, that he reminded me a lot of Meg D's approach. In this one, in the actual last 2 games, that defense has not been as strong going into this. And even just look at the damage. The damage difference is in favor of Blue, but the KO power is on the side of Luna and Pugsy.
I don't know what, like, because I look at their team and I'm like, y'all need more boom power. But then I'm like, there is a lot of boom power on Ulgrim and Bryn. Like, I'm not going to say Bryn's the hardest hitting legend in the game, but those Sigs definitely pack a punch. But so much of the damage being racked up is in the corner. Then we have another swap here, and
This is what we've known Blue for, the Koji, over the years. So having it finally show up here, I understand why, you're saying, gauntlets are the thing right now. So go with the Valve to start. Oh, and Luna's going to switch it up. You would have thought, but Blue does get the wall touch on the other side. Meanwhile, Macheeete took so much damage trying to go help. That was such a win for the red team in the midst of all that.
Okay. It looks like we're going to have them kind of fighting for some space here. Blue takes his time getting onto the stage because, right, if you're on that Koji, you don't have a whole lot of defense, but you do have the ability to kind of throw out a lot of hitboxes. And you do have the bow as well, right? That's something that they have as an option on the table. But I feel like Blue is probably going to stick with the sword most of the time. Gets caught on the recovery, so it's not going to be able to make it back from there. The hammer recovery so strong of an option for edge guarding, and already the red team is pulling ahead.
This is where every single mistake matters that much more. You're currently looking down 2-1, but you're getting some damage on Pugsy, sending him directly up. That helped him avoid getting hit by the side air coming in from Macheeete. Macheeete does close it out, however, on the side air. Pugsy holding on as long as he can, trying to avoid getting hit. There's an attempt at one right there, and Blue still couldn't even get hit. That was great defense on Pugsy, Flambeau.
Wow, and all that damage being racked up here. The blue team needs to find this first KO on Pugsy right now, man. Things are getting a little bit too out of hand. That Sarah from Luna onto Pugsy actually gives them some time to set up a 2v1 on Luna, but...
And they had the 2v1, and they missed it. Blue got the neutral lights, sent it in, didn't get the hit. They finally catch Pugsy. There's an opportunity to get some damage, and they got at least a 3-piece out of it. That follow-up near the would have led to another hit. That's unfortunate they didn't get that hit, but they got a lot of damage on the Luna now. It's a much more even game.
I feel like that's been like a lot of what I've seen from Macheeete and Blue. They have the concept of these team combos down, but then the execution has not really been hitting the mark in this set. And so we're going to see if they're able to bring things back. At least at this point, the stocks are more or less even. I don't see Macheeete living for too much longer. Blue also has taken a fair bit of damage, but this could be a good trade. Hold on. Oh, this is good. And the blue team closed it out here. Exhausted recovery. Scary from Pugsy.
Yeah, that was extremely scary for Pugsy because Blue was able to get back on, get himself access to the bow, while Pugsy was so close to just free-falling. Bow was going to come back in with the recovery. It's too far away to even get close to try and knock out. But that D6 is not going to be enough to take him out off the side. Luna getting in the way, body blocking, and they're still holding on to, both of the teams holding on to that really deep red stock right now. But Luna taking more straight hits.
Oh, they didn't want to deal with the bow today. I can tell. Blue is covering so much space. The D-Light recovery is... This is absolutely the worst thing that could happen right now. Blue has to do it all by himself. They are so good at that, man.
That is the finishing blow right there. That 2v1 combo that they got, scooping them up out the skies. Even if you manage to get away from losing that, weapon toss comes down. Luna seals the deal. Pugsy and Luna got that one opportunity. We were waiting for that team combo play. We talked about how you take so much damage. Well, with those two, you might just get knocked out. And we saw it. They took advantage of it, and they were able to deal with that first game they dropped into a straight 3 wins in a row to move themselves forward here in Winterside.
That was like frame perfect capitalization. Like, homeboy died, and it was like the team combo had already started. Yeah. Like, it was like he didn't even get a chance to come back from the revival platform and even think that he had an opportunity to break things up. And that's Luna and Pugsy, man. That's why they do what they got to do. We're definitely going to get a replay on that final side.
Get a replay of that. Look at this right here. So the separation comes through, lined it up, neutralize, send them back. GC and send them back down. Line it back up, send them up, immediately close
He's
down.
Still on the helper.
And
He's still on the helper.
No, he couldn't do it.